Hi and welcome back to the Gemhawks YouTube channel. Today I would like to teach you two different techniques for channel setting. That is to say, two strands of heavier gauge wire suspending gemstones in between. Now I tend to mostly work with 1mm gauge wire as your heavier gauges, which form the tram lines of the design, and this means that there will still be a certain amount of flexibility so you can form that into whatever you need it to be, whether that's a bangle or a ring, which I plan on teaching you in my next tutorial. And for the finer gauge wire I tend to work with a 0.4mm gauge because it gives you enough strength and fluidity to work to get those perfect coils on either side of the channel, but also it's fine enough to fit through most gemstone drill holes. So what you will need to do is take a look at your gems. The gems that you're planning on using will obviously need to have a drill hole that accommodates your finer gauge wire, and you will always get a better result on channel setting with gemstones that are exactly the same dimension. Today I'm going to be working with rose gold colour copper wire in 1mm gauge and 0.4mm gauge, and the gemstones I've chosen are a grey moonstone in 2.5mm faceted rounds. Now these have been pre-threaded onto my 0.4mm gauge wire and kept under control by leaving the other end of the 0.4mm gauge on the reel. And this means that once I have started winding on, I can't drop it all on the floor, because I think we've all been in the situation, if we've worked with gemstones and wire, where we've threaded them onto the wire and then we've dropped the end and they all go on the floor and it's all really a bit pants. So one way to avoid doing that is to pop your gemstones onto the wire. I don't know if you can see them just there. There's a big one in the middle, and that will become clear in the next demonstration why that's there. And then I've just turned a little knot on the end of the 0.4mm gauge, and then if I accidentally drop this segment of wire, it means that they don't go splooting all over the floor. My heavier gauge is 1mm gauge, and if you come down to the bench, I'm just going to warm that between thumb and forefinger. Now you can pre-hammer this if you want it to be a little bit more structural, or you can indeed size up and use a slightly heavier gauge wire. For my own ease of work, what I'm going to do is make a little bit of a U shape at one end, very close to the tip, and then just draw those two tails out in slightly opposite directions. Once I flip this over, you'll see that we've got the end, which is going to be where we're starting, and I'm going to begin here. And what I will do is I'll take my finer gauge wire, my 0.4mm even, and I'll wind that 3 times or 4 times around one side of the design just to get us going. So I'm going to bring this into view now, and what I'm going to do is start working just down here to begin with, and I'm going to take that knotty bit because we're going to discard it anyway, and I'm going to wrap this around, let's say, a couple of times, 3 or 4 times to get a really good grip. And I'm going to trim away the excess, which I'll put in my scrap pot to make sure that gets recycled. And then I'll just give that a quick scooch around the wire in the direction that it's travelling, around the heavier gauge, and I'm just going to scooch that up so it's a really nice, neat finish. So I'm going to teach you two techniques to channel set your wire, and the first is an opposite or a zigzag frame. Now what this does, if you're working with larger gemstones that have a fewer number of facets and not a micro facet, maybe not a golf ball facet or anything too fancy, but what you will see is the gemstones sit like this and like this. And it gives you a greater opportunity to enjoy the facet work of gemstones with fewer facets. So if you've got a strand that you want to use up, they weren't quite as sparkly as you wanted them to be, then this could be a way to use them. And you can use pretty much any size as long as they're all the same size. So back down to the board, got my little wire which has got the gemstones already stacked onto it. I'm going to try and work in a handed fashion, sorry about the rustling. And I'm going to bring the wire into position, making sure that that's really nice and neat and I'm happy with it before we get going. And I'm going to draw the wire, it's come over the top of what sits on the left of your screen, draw it down the centre of those 2 tram lines of wire, bring my first gemstone into position and just sit that between the 2 heavier gauges. So I've gone over the top on the left hand side, underneath the right hand side. I'm just going to take that close to the end, and then I'm going to wrap 4 times around the right hand wire. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this is your basic figure of 8 weave, or your zigzag or your basket weave, however you prefer to know it. And we've set our first gemstone in position, and it's sitting on the finer wire at an angle. So instead of sitting directly on top of the wire, it's going over the top of one side and under the other side. I'm going to drop in a couple more gemstones and you'll see as it builds up. So if I flip this over in this direction, the wire has come over the top of what is currently the left hand, down the centre. Pop the gemstone into position, take the tail of the wire nice and firmly all the way around the opposite side. So that's 1, 2, 3 and 4. Just keep those loops and coils tidy every time. You can do this with your fine tip pliers if you prefer. Make sure you protect your gemstones, especially these little fine beauties. Give that a bit of a squeeze. And what you'll see I'm doing is I have the pliers on either side. If I show you here where there's no coils, one tine on the right, one tine on the left. Put those into position on that little coil we've created and squoosh them up nice and tightly. You'll get a beautiful machined finish. So I'm going to do 2 more gemstones on this demonstration before we move on to the second type. So again, I've come over the top, down the centre, sit the gemstone into position and then wind around. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Pull the wire nice and tight. I'm just going to use my nails to get that firm. We're going to bring our 4th gemstone into position, and this will be enough to show you the finished effect of this particular fashion of channel setting your gemstones with wire. So if I bring that down and then just give those a bit of a tighten up to make those coils look neat, and I'll show you then in as much light as possible, you get an offset design. So the gemstones are going this way, then that way, then this way, then that way within the channel. It also means that your gems are protected almost directly between your 2 outer wires, which is really handy. So I'm just going to wind around a couple of times here to give us some distance, and I will show you the second type of channel setting. So that's just given us enough coils just to be able to see the difference between the 2 segments. So the second type of channel setting is where we're going to have gemstones sat above the wire lines and then a return of wire underneath with no gemstone on at all. What this gives you is gemstones that sit above the main frame that you're working with, so they're less protected, but you also get a really clustered, beautiful, even effect as if you were channel setting like a silversmith. So at the moment, if you come back down to the board, my wire has come over the top here. We're going to leave the wire over the top of both of these segments of heavier gauge wire. Again, excuse the rustling. I'm going to draw my first gemstone into position, and I'm going to grip very firmly the channels. What can happen when you're working on this design is that the channel gets drawn a little bit too closely together, so give that a really good grip. And then we're going to go again for 4 wraps around the second heavy gauge wire, the one that is currently on top of your screen. Bring that around and back down. Now at this stage, we're going to pass underneath the design with a single strand of 0.4mm gauge without a gemstone on it. What can happen is that your 2 tram lines get squished down together. Now we don't want that because we want to keep that even space. So again, gripping very, very firmly onto the framework, I'm going to draw my first coil in, make sure that I'm happy with the size, that it hasn't pulled together too much. If you find that these 2 wires have come too close together, before you get much further, you can just open that out gently by using your pliers as if they were reverse action. So just open them out instead, and you'll just gain a little bit more space in between your 2 tram lines. So we go for number 3 and then number 4 over the top. Push your wires into position, make sure you're happy with how neat they are. We're going to bring another couple of gemstones into position so you can see the difference between those 2 varieties of channel setting. So all the way around, 1, 2, 3 and 4. And again, you would want this to be as neat as possible, so you can just give those a very, very gentle touch with your bent chain nose pliers or your fine tip chain nose pliers. And again, you'll see that the wires will want to come together. So you can just very, very gently ensure that they're exactly where you want them to be. Grip onto the frame and the gemstones and make sure that you're not putting too much pressure in this direction when you make that first loop. So I've just drawn that up and I'm quite happy with that dimension. I'm sure that my gemstone's going to fit, so I can then continue to do my 4 wraps on this side. And again, if it does come a little bit too close together, we're just going to put the pliers in and open that out, draw the finer wire over the top. I tend to work quite a lot with my hands as well as my tools, just to make sure that I'm happy with how things are sitting. And I'm going to bring another couple of gemstones in so that you can see the effect that this type of channel setting can give you. Now, if these are getting on your nerves, you can just open that out slightly. 2, 3 and 4. Bring that into position. Just give that a little bit of a gentle tweak, and if you cover the gemstone with your finger pad, your thumb pad, or your nail if you have them, you can just protect that from any accidental touches with the pliers. So again, we're checking to make sure that our channel is remaining the same width apart. So just open that out if it has indeed gone a bit wrong for you. What we're going to do is just add one more gemstone, and then I'm going to give you as close up a view as I possibly can to make sure that you can see the difference between the 2 varieties. So this is the last time I'm going to add a gemstone in for this design tutorial. Pop that down. I am going to cut the wire away, and what you'll notice I'm doing is I'm just supporting the wire here because I've got more gemstones on my reel ready to use later. I'm just going to turn a little bit of a loop to make sure that they don't all come cascading away. Pop that out of the way. So now I have completed what I wanted to achieve on here. I'm going to grip onto that gemstone for the last time and draw the tail around once, twice, 3 times and a 4th time, all the way over the top. Give that a squeeze, turn the design over, and you can trim away. Again, protecting your gemstones. These are delicate little sausages. Give that a squish to make sure it's nice and tidy. And if I just separate that out slightly, you'll be able to see the difference between the 2 techniques. So on the left here, we have the zigzag channel setting. The gemstones are very much nestled away between the 2 strands of outer wire. And then in the second, we have channel setting where the gemstones are raised, and I hope you can see that difference in detail. They're above the line of wire, and if you look on the back, you get a really charming barred effect with those passes of just plain wire across the back. This is super comfortable to wear as a bangle. You don't get any interaction with the gemstones on the skin because it is raised away by the nature of how you have set the gemstones. So that's your introduction to 2 different types of channel setting. In my next video, I'm going to show you how to use the second type of channel setting to make your very own snake ring. Now, these are absolutely fantastic sellers. If you've got half a strand of gemstones left over, you don't need to use overly many gemstones to create a wonderful feature piece. So that'll be coming up soon. In the meantime, I'd like to wish you a wonderful day. Thank you for continuing to watch the channel. It's an absolute pleasure to be with you. I appreciate your support, and I look forward to catching up with you very, very soon. Lots of love. Bye for now.